Welcome to Zack Attack Reviews. Thank you for joining me for my review of the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Knock at the Cabin. M. Night Shyamalan has been doing movies that's so divisive for so many years, but I like his movies because even if the twists might be stupid, the idea is original and he swings for the fences. So it's appointment viewing for me. So I was really excited to get into Knock at the Cabin. When I saw the trailer, it looked really intense, looked really thrilling, but does it hold up to that fantastic trailer? Is it another M. Night Shyamalan trailer that's knocking at greatness, or just muddled with a bunch of twists? Let's start with the premise. While vacationing at a remote cabin in the woods, a young girl and her parents are taken hostage by four armed strangers who demanded they make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse. Confused, scared, and with limited access to the outside world, the family must decide what they believe before all is lost. Knock at the Cabin is rated R for gruesome violence and language. First of all, I gotta say, this is a standout performance by Dave Bautista. He sets the tone early with his Leonard character, countering stereotypes about large, muscular men. Turn out to be gentle, thoughtful, compassionate, even though he has this imposing, scary appearance. He seems genuinely hurt when the family says he's lying about the apocalypse coming if they don't make a choice, and it's really funny to see the subtle ways how he goes through it, like being very genuine about it when this choice that he's given them is unthinkable. The rest of the invaders do a great job with the little screen time they have. Rupert Grint, aka Ron Weasley, he will always be Ron Weasley to me, plays an impatient, flawed, aggressive man who may have ties to the family and really is not trying to introduce himself or trying to talk it out or explain what their plan is, why is it going on. He just wants to get this done because he doesn't want the apocalypse to come, and he knows that this is the only way in his head and collectively this is the only way for them to avoid it. Abby Quinn plays Adrian, a passionate mother who wants to stop this apocalypse to save her child, and Nikki Bird plays a very desperate ER nurse who just cares about everyone and wants to avoid billions of people dying. And not all the victims in this family of this home invasion. Kristen Q, who plays Wen, is the most standout. I think her and Dave Bautista are the standouts in this film, and she plays this adorable, smart, charismatic, and very useful 7-year-old. When the home invasion was starting, she was locking windows and running and calling out places that was going on. She did not play games, and I really like that because a lot of times in these stories of home invasions and scarier movies like mystery thrillers like this, the kids play kind of stupid and do a lot of dumb decisions, but she was on it and she was trying to protect her family as much as she could. And as this impossible decision was done, they were told, you must sacrifice one of the three of you to avoid the apocalypse. Every time you say no, something from the Old Testament will happen upon the earth and will eventually put the earth in darkness, and they will be the only three people left to walk the earth. And as they're given this impossible task to do, parents Eric and Andrew, played by Jonathan Groff and Ben Aldridge, do a good job with their roles as they play very different characters. Eric, a man of faith who has a lot of compassion and understanding, he's trying to talk to the invaders, trying to understand where they're coming from, reason with them. Andrew, very hot-headed, has a temper, very skeptical of everything. He does not believe this at all, not even for a little second, and fights to the bitter end to prove that this is ridiculous and they're being targeted because they're a gay couple. For all the threats and the death on the line and the talk of apocalypse, the main juxtaposition of the conversation between the family and the invaders is about love and hope. What would you do to save others? What do you believe in? Do you believe in something greater than yourself? This feels like an act of God, and they say that this is something that families over the centuries have had to choose, and obviously each family have chosen, and it's time for them. And it's just that fight of like, how are we supposed to believe you? You guys could be crazy. And the story starts to unveil itself as the movie progresses, and you start putting things in the story, dialogue, and situations that happen that make you question what is fake, what is real. Is this really the apocalypse, or are these a bunch of crazy people who met on a message board and are targeting this gay couple with this adopted child that they have? And I think that most of the movie, up until like midway through the movie, this was an engaging, thrilling experience, and I really enjoyed trying to figure out what was going on. Once the reveal happens, you find out what's going on, which is toward the end of the movie. There's no big twist, surprisingly, with M. Night Shyamalan. He played it safe, no huge twist, nothing crazy. that he likes to do with his movies is pretty straightforward, and it makes the movie feel anticlimactic, on top of not really giving a full explanation of why the family had to make these choices, what was going on. And it really made this feel really soft at the end. All the tension that was built, all the thrilling threads and everything that was going on, the fake outs and everything just fell kind of flat at this. And you're like, wait, what was this ride that we were going on? Why were we going on this ride if this was just the choice that had to be made? On top of them not really fleshing out the family enough. Yes, they did flashbacks showing the important parts of the family life, but I don't think it was done enough, or like the movie was too fast. I think it was only an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes, where you don't get enough of the family together to really care about them fully. Like, obviously I felt bad for them because they're just on vacation in a cabin that they rented out by themselves, trying to enjoy some family time. But just the characters themselves, I don't think they did enough for me to fully invest in if their lives are, worth the apocalypse, or, and things like that. I don't think they did enough there. And while the direction, the sound, the cinematography, and all the technical parts of the movie is done really well, this movie is rated R, so I expected to see some really violent things if people have to sacrifice themselves. But the violence is pretty tame, with them cutting away a lot when things are about to get gory, or kind of showing it in an obscure way that made me feel like they were going for a PG-13 rating, but still got an R rating anyway. It was just really weird. I felt like if you're gonna get an R rating, just go for it. It really made the weight of the killing and the weight of the situation feel a little less, because we weren't seeing what was happening to these people as bodies started dropping. Let's get into my verdict. So I'll break up my verdict into who is this for, and should you rush to the theaters and go see it or wait for streaming, and how I feel overall. Who's this for? If you like intense mystery thrillers where it keeps you guessing until almost the end, and you're trying to figure out what is going on and why everything is happening, I think this is a movie that will be engaging and fun for you to watch, while also being a little violent and gruesome here and there, with some really good performances from Dave Bautista and the young girl that played Wen. But I will say, since the movie has such a small scope and it doesn't go for this big thing or has a grand twist that M. Night Shyamalan usually has, I think that this is not something that you have to rush to go see in the theaters. If you are someone that goes to movies often anyway, it's definitely a good watch to watch with some friends and talk about after. But if not, then this is something you can definitely wait for streaming. How I feel overall, I did enjoy my experience with the movie because it did keep me in this intense feeling. It had a couple of funny moments in it as well. It was well made and well acted. It just had a soft, anticlimactic ending that made me go like, okay, that was okay. So with that said, I'm going to give this movie a C. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Knock at the Cabin if you saw it in theaters? And if you didn't see the movie, did my review sway you to go check it out, or are you going to pass it on by? Let me know those in the comments below. Like the video if you like my review. Subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you can notify of my reviews, reactions, ranking lists, and live discussions. And you can watch more of my content right now.